challenge because he is 6'5". So all of a sudden, Book thinks he's starting to draw a bead on Patrick Beverly. Well, I can get him this way or that way. And all of a sudden, here's Terrence Mann, who plays with extreme energy, just extreme. He's like a bigger Pat Bev without all the trash talk because he's just a kid who's happy to be here and just playing the game. Correct. But Patrick is getting in your head. He's getting literally under your skin. And physically, the Clippers imposed their will. It was just a physical basketball game where Big Zoo outplayed DeAndre Ayton. He is not better than DeAndre Ayton. He is not as talented as DeAndre Ayton. Listen, Ayton made a couple shots last night where I just sat back and said, listen, that's too good. You're looking at a potential superstar there. But over the long haul, the guy who was protecting the rim, the guy who was wreaking the most havoc, was Big Zoo, once upon a time, a property of your Los Angeles Lakers. and that was a Magic Johnson special, and I do not believe he should have given him away like that. Because that's basically what he did. He gave him away. He did. And last night, what did he wind up with?
15 and 16.
15 and 16. That will work.
And plus 28.
Okay. And the Clippers just figured out how to win a game that we all agreed they had to win. Because if they go down 3-0, I know they do it the hardest way, but that's a way you can't do it. Right. You're not going to come back on this Phoenix team with Chris Paul back in the saddle. Right. From 3-0 down, I don't think. Maybe I'm even underestimating this Clippers team. But the point is, in the past, we used to say, well, the Clippers do what the Clippers do. Right. And it was always ha, ha, ha. It was always ridicule. Right. They were the ugly stepchild of Los Angeles living in the basement at Staples. Now when I say the Clippers did last night what the Clippers do, now you're starting to think, well, yeah, this is who they are. Right. You want to talk about refuse to lose? You want to talk about resilience? Okay, we're not making shots tonight. We'll just D you up. Thank you. We will beat you. We'll play a little bit of football, and we will beat you in our house the only way we know how tonight, and that is with our defense. Right. And if we could see what happened in the fourth quarter, this is my other big point here. So Paul George makes a shot at the end of the third quarter, and every once in a while you need a little luck. Yep. And I know ESPN showed him warming up, shooting half-court shots, but he was trying to swish them, and he was not trying to swish this one, obviously. This is a lucky banker. He made a really nice play to save the ball from going out of bounds. Well, what he did, Skip, is that he fooled them because they thought he was going to grab it and time start, but he didn't. He faked them out. He faked him out, and it was a very athletic play along the sideline. And then he rights himself, and he banks it in. Right. Well, every once in a while, you need one game-turning play, and yet that puts them back up. See, it was going to be an 8-point game, and you would have thought up in your palatial estate in Bel Air, I got this. 8 felt like doable. But 11 starts to feel like, I don't know. I feel like maybe it's the Clippers' night, right? That's exactly what I thought when he hit that shot. All right, so eventually, early in the fourth quarter, they go up 18 points. Right. 18. Seriously? They went up 18 points at one point. And here came the Suns. The Suns rose. And all of a sudden, I look up, and off a Devin Booker driving layup, they cut it to 6 points. What happened in the bubble last year? What happened 3 straight times, 3 straight closeout games, up 3-1 on Denver. They're up 16, then they're up 19 in Game 6, and then they're up 12 in Game 7. Blow it, blow it, blow it. Well, if these are the same old Clippers, wouldn't you start to think, they've just unraveled right before your very eyes? And then if we could see what happened after that Devin Booker driving layup, Paul George, who was just flat out running out of gas to me, he just throws the ball away. That's a Paul George. He just missed Reggie Jackson. And I'm saying that's so ugly bad that I said, you know what? This is it. Now you've got the ball back, and the ball is in Devin Booker's hands to cut it to 3. And if we could see what happened next, that's the pass. And here we go. This is to cut it to 3 with 6:45 left. And guess what? Blocked by Patrick Beverly. That's the play of the night. Because let's say he rises and makes that 3, and it's cut to 3. What would you think? Would they not? They got the momentum. Suns not have him? Yes. Yeah. So here's Devin Booker. He goes up to shoot it, and Pat gets it on the way up, and the Clippers recover. Skip,
if you look at this team compared to last year, Skip, there's not a whole lot of difference. Is that they dug in. They buckled down. Where last year they succumbed to the pressure, now they're applying the pressure.
Okay. So now, here's what happens. There's this young man not so young anymore, named Reggie Jackson.
Reggie.
Mr. June. And I'm going to point something out before I show you what he did in order. But I'm going to point out that in those 3 closeout games in the bubble last year, he barely played. The first game, he played none. Doc chose him not to even play him. And the second one, he got to play 59 seconds at the end of the game in garbage time once it had been lost. In the third game, he played all of 4 minutes, but none in the fourth quarter, the game 7.
Right.
Okay, so Reggie Jackson, according to Doc Rivers, was no factor last year in those 3 collapses in the bubble. Now he is the man in the fourth quarter, and I think he's becoming the closer.
Right.
What did I always tell you about Kawhi? I never felt like he was a born closer. Paul George kind of comes and goes, we know. He's supremely talented, but I don't consider him the closer of this team.
Right.
But Reggie Jackson, is he not fearless?
Right.
So here's what he does. He scores 4 straight baskets, if we could see him in order, to put this game away. Here's the first one on a fast break. He makes that one. And at that point, I'm taking anything. Like, that was a big shot to me to put them back. I think that put them back up 6. And then he makes the big 3, and all of a sudden they're back up 11. And then we kick it back out. And this is going to be ball game right here, because that put them up 13. And then, just for good measure, one more time, he goes on Cam Johnson. He goes up and under and over, and he goes back up the court going, Cam Johnson is too small. Cam Johnson is 6 feet 8 inches tall. Reggie Jackson is listed at 6 feet 1 inch tall. So it's 6'1" versus 6'8", and he's going up the court going, you're too small to guard me, to Cam Johnson. Whoa, really? That's a new deal for the Los Angeles Clippers. They've never had that kind of swag, that kind of attitude.
When you come with Reggie Jackson credentials, Skip, the Pistons gave him max money. So, okay, they give you max money, they think you're the guy. Doc got him playing mop-up duty. Can you imagine what that did to his confidence? Do you imagine what that did to his psyche? Okay, T. Lue comes in. Bro, we believe in you. We're going to get you into the starting lineup. And now look at him. He's playing like the Reggie Jackson that got that guaranteed money, that got that max contract from the Detroit Pistons.
Okay.
And sometimes, Skip, that's what it takes, is that one coach doesn't believe in you and another coach does, and you're like, I'm going to show you was right to put your trust in me.
Well, you keep bringing him up every day because he just gets playing bigger and bigger, right?
Every game.
Okay, so now we come to my man, Playoff P. Did not have the best night. Did not shoot it great. Turned it over 6 times.
All in the second half, Skip.
All in the second half. 4 times in the third quarter.
Correct.
Where I was just about to be out of my mind. And yet, I'm going to point this out. As we speak, Paul George has played 129 more minutes than any other player who has played in the playoffs so far. 129 more. He has played 147 minutes more. It was a little perplexing to me that he was sitting upstairs watching from a suite with his family and his Uncle Dennis. We'll talk about the why of that in a little bit, but he is gone for the playoffs. And T. Lue knows it, and T. Lue knows, I just got to play Paul.
Right.
But I'm tweeting last night, just give him a couple of minutes. Just give him a little blow, but he can't. He can't.
He finally just his presence on the court.
He played 43 more minutes last night, and the only reason it wasn't closer to 48 is because over the